way. We on the way. We on the way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We on the way. We on the way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We on the way. We on the way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keeping them laws. On what you say. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We on the way. We on the way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We on the way. We on.
Shalom, shalom, everybody. It's your boy Prophet. I had a scriptural conundrum. I've been reading First Chronicles over again, and something hit me that I never noticed before. I done put the word out to some of the ox, man. Hey, don't go by the edge, Cameron. Get off of that. Sorry, we out here in quarantine. Just made it back. All praise to the Most High for His safe traveling mercies. We stuck in this hotel, but I mean, it ain't really like a crappy hotel. It's decent. I mean, it's messy right now because me and my son been playing all day, but we out here, man. It's beautiful. Guam is beautiful. I'm ready to get back to the States, though. Honestly, there's too much craziness going on out here. Not like crime or anything, but just a lot, man. Especially with this fake COVID stuff and all of that other stuff. But it's definitely beautiful. If you're gonna give it a grade for the beauty, definitely gets an A+. It's crazy. You don't really notice how beautiful the Most High's creation is until you actually see it in person. But yeah, so while in quarantine doing some reading, First Chronicles, I believe it was chapter 21. Matter of fact, let me grab the word real quick. First Chronicles. Yeah, First Chronicles 21. I was reading the chapter, and the chapter was talking about how Satan provoked David into doing a census for Israel, and as a result of that, he really upset the Most High. I mean, he ended up repenting. Back up from that edge, camera. He ended up repenting and making an offering. But it was interesting because in First Kings chapter 15 and verse 5, it talks about how David never broke the law. He never transgressed the Most High, except for in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. That whole scenario with him getting Uriah killed and him sleeping with Bathsheba. But outside of that, the scripture said he never did anything wrong. And we know the scripture say that he had a heart after the Most High as himself. So that's what I was going off of. But later on, chronologically, because the Old Testament is in chronological order, First Chronicles comes after First Kings. But in First Chronicles, even David admits to transgressing. Or not necessarily transgression, but he did say he was foolish. He said he sinned in a matter of doing a census and getting an account of all of the people in Israel at the time. So like I said, I put the word out to some of the ox, and I'm waiting on word back from one of them, my Akabaya. But my Ak Joel kind of gave me an interesting perspective on it. He said that time and time again, the Most High, time and time again with Israel, he wanted to show his might. He wanted to show his strength, and that he was the one who was the reason why Israel was so successful and was winning the battles and stuff like that. So, he would send troops away and basically send Israel to battle with the least amount possible. The least amount possible, to the point where there's no way Israel would have won that battle on their own strength and power. So his perspective was possibly getting a count, doing a census and getting a count of all the people in Israel was kind of David's way of flexing, showing like, we got this many people, we this strong, we this powerful, when the Most High wasn't going for that. Cameron, sit still. If you're going to be on this balcony, sit still. Um, and so like it's kind of like an ego thing, kind of flexing a little bit. Because even when he told Joab to go out and take the census, Joab didn't want to do it. Joab tried to talk him out of it. But you know, the king's the king. But even though Joab did it, he didn't do it for Benjamin and Levi. And it says in the scriptures that David's decision to do the census was abominable to Joab, and it displeased the Most High. So I don't know if that's a situation where I'm getting ahead of myself. But going back to what the ox said, he said it's either because that doing that census was kind of a flex, and the Most High didn't like that, or basically First Kings account of David's life and how righteous he was basically up until that point that First Kings was written, which would really make sense. But just to be 100% sure about that, I just wanted to put the word out. So the APB is out on this scenario, you know. And I know the Bible don't contradict itself, so I'll say the conundrum between First Kings chapter 15 verse 5 and the whole chapter of First Chronicles chapter 21. But here's where I stand with it. I believe that I agree with Joel in the aspect of the chronological order of it. Maybe First Kings 15 and 5 was talking about David's life up until that particular point, and not necessarily talking about his whole life as a whole, because we know David was still alive when you get to First Chronicles, because First Chronicles chapter 22, I believe it's 22, David is actually getting everything ready, all the materials and stuff needed to build the temple for the Most High. And he brings his son, who was young at the time, he brings his son Solomon, and he basically tells him what was told to him, and the reason is why the Most High wanted Solomon to build the temple and not him. So we know David is still alive in First Chronicles chapter 21. So maybe his chapter wasn't completely talked about up until that point. The other side of the matter is, maybe like the ox said, maybe doing the census was a flex. You know what I'm saying? Flexing his chest, a little bit of ego. Look at my kingdom. Look at my nation. Look at how many mighty men we have. Look how many soldiers we have. You know, the nations around don't want to, don't want to mess with it. Because if you look at like history in regards to like war and military might, most of the time, and you see it a lot nowadays, because people don't really fight nowadays. They fight by like flexing. It's all about flexing. The U.S. wants to get the most nukes, have the biggest forces, to have the most advanced technology, the most deadliest weapons, not to actually use them, but to show the other militaries that's out here, like, hey, look, this is what we got. You don't want to fuck with us. You come around here if you want to. And it keeps them away. It keeps them from, potentially, wanting to come and start war or attack or whatever the case may be. Because in the harsh, cruel world, the nations that have the smallest armies, they get ate up. They either have to, one, fight for themselves and get taken over by a larger force, or two, make an alliance with a larger force and give up something in return. Maybe they have a lot of gold in their country, or a lot of oil, or some type of natural resource, or some type of commodity that they can use to barter a deal, and in return they get protection from the larger force, just in case anybody else tries to come against them. The larger force can step in and help them out. But it goes all the way back to ancient times. If a nation, let's just say I don't know, let's say Persia wanted to come against Israel, but they knew that Israel had a way larger force than them, they're not gonna come against Israel. The only time people actually prevailed against Israel in the history of the Bible that I can remember off the top of my head, forgive me if I misquote something, was because Israel disobeyed and the Most High allowed it to happen. Outside of that, Israel wasn't getting taken over, wasn't getting defeated like that. Israel was kicking butt. But yeah, that's my second part, man. I don't really know what's the answer on it. So if you're watching this video right now, shoot, hey, understand the APB is out on this information because we want answers. We want answers. I know y'all want answers because you know it don't matter what the truth is to me. I just want to know the truth. I don't care what scripture, what book, what religion, what the shape of the earth is. I don't care none of that. I want to know the truth. And whatever the truth is, that's what I align with. You feel me? So we want to know the truth. The APB is out. What y'all think? What's going on between 1 Kings 15:5 and 1 Chronicles chapter 21, man? Other than that, man, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Shabbat out here. Sun get ready to go down, so the Shabbat finna end for me, but it's beautiful, man. I do appreciate all the love and support, especially for the album release that just happened not too long ago. I appreciate all the love, all the feedback I've gotten so far. So far, I've heard nothing but good things. But hey, if y'all have something that y'all heard or y'all didn't like or y'all got questions about, hit me up, man. I take all feedback, constructive criticism as well as praise, and not in the sense of worship, you know. But yeah, man, that's it, man. We just out here. I'm enjoying some quality time with my son. I haven't seen him in over a year and a half, you know, because COVID didn't let us travel. But we out here. Got a couple more days left in this hotel room. Then I can go get a haircut. But man, y'all take it easy and stay safe, man. Shalom.